Welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking about who should have the tenseigan next. Of course, tenseigan is an ability by Hamura Otsutsuki as well as Toneri Otsutsuki. We only really see it one time in the entire show. But as Toneri was mentioned, or at least shown in the Boruto manga / anime in the first half, maybe it's been alluded to that the tenseigan may be a possibility for someone of the Hyuga royal family. Now, as we know, at least in the manga, that Boruto does have the Karma Seal. He also has the Jogan Eye via the Karma Seal, so he's able to use all the abilities as well as holding himself back as he doesn't want Momoshiki to take over. While Himawari now has the 9 tails at her disposal, as she is just a walking tailed beast. So, as fun as it sounds, as fun as this little scenario is, there will probably not be another tenseigan user unless another Otsutsuki or another Hamura descendant somewhere out there was able to find out how to use the tenseigan. Other than that, there ain't no way that we will ever be able to see this ability again. For the only other one that even can get close to the tenseigan to meet all its requirements is Hanabi. Hanabi is the only one that can gain the power of the tenseigan in this show, and which would be fun because tenseigan is a very cool ability that we only really get to see one time. We only get to see one time in this show, of course, in the last movie within that. I'd also like to see Hamura use it because, of course, Hamura, of course, is one of the mainstays of the Naruto series, whereas it was Hagoromo and Hamura. Hagoromo is strong. Hagoromo has the Sage's 6 pass. He is able to use Senjutsu up to its highest potential, as well as all these other abilities. While Hamura was stuck with the Byakugan, the other half of his mom's ability. So he was able to evolve the Byakugan to the tenseigan to match his brother in power and potential. Also, the tenseigan's another way to really have the Sharingan and Byakugan really clash with each other, as in the beginning of Naruto, Neji and Sasuke, if they were ever to fight, would have showed the physical prowess of both people, as it was really a discussion, the Byakugan or the Sharingan. But when the Sharingan evolved form of the Rinnegan was able to be expressed way more in the show, was able to cultivate the feats, the 6 pass of pain, the Sage's 6 pass. You got to see very much of what the Rinnegan can do, that the Byakugan was like, I don't really need you for real. I want a Sharingan for real. That don't make no sense. The Sharingan make me blind, but I want one. The Byakugan for real just gives me mad veins. Why would I want that? And Byakugan is still insanely useful. It's just not to the level of where it should have been for the Sharingan. It should have been the same, but of course, with Kishimoto, he forgets things, and you know how the story goes. When the story is prolonged and there's not enough time to focus on all of them, as much as I would have liked the tenseigan to be at least mentioned or at least cultivated in Naruto Shippuden. As now when we see the tenseigan in the last movie, we know that there's another ability that can rival Naruto, that can rival Sasuke out there in this world, other than someone that has just Senjutsu, Ishiki, Momoshiki, Kenshiki, that have all these weird abilities it's not called Senjutsu. I don't know what it's called yet because I'm not making that video and it did not make the script, but they do not have Senjutsu because their abilities are not Senjutsu abilities, but the tenseigan has the Senjutsu abilities as well as a chakra mode of basically the Byakugan. The tenseigan allows you to shoot beams, bro. Cut moons in half, as well as having the Senjutsu orb. So you still have the power of Senjutsu. And of course, you could only gain this power is to be a royal family of the Hyuga and have a good mix of the Otsutsuki clan. You gotta have both to awaken this. That could be one fire storyline, but unfortunately, since I think we're going to forget Hinabi exists. Hinabi will probably be mentioned in the show at the end of the show. Once this show is done and Naruto and Hinata are able to come back into the fold, basically towards the end of the show. That's where we'll see Hinabi. But since that won't happen until much later, I think about a year or two, we stuck with this burning question. But I would love to see the Tenseigan come back on its own in the show, as the Tenseigan is an incredibly broken ability, an incredible ability to use against the god trees and against the Otsutsuki that they're facing right now. For example, Momoshiki that is trying to take over Boruto, and Kawaki, who's just wilding out, should have a counter to them. Tenseigan is a perfect counter to someone who could train with it, develop it, and be all powerful with it. Toneri got the Tenseigan, immediately started fighting, and lost, and still was able to cut the moon in half. Imagine someone with the Tenseigan able to go through a training arc, fight somebody strong, give them feats, and is able to go at Kawaki and Boruto. Now, of course, this character should be Mitsuki, because Mitsuki has Sage Mode, but Mitsuki isn't as strong as those two just yet. That aside, someone should have the Tenseigan against those two, since Toneri was already alluded to. So of course, if we ever do see it again, I think the person that is going to get it is going to be Hinabi, unless they retcon the whole royal family thing. Then, and if it opens up, it should be... That's crazy. It has to be royal family. It gotta be rather Boruto, Himawari. But if there's Saruto up in the air in the next, I think Boruto should end in the next 2-3 years. If Saruto's up in the air in 2030, I see 2028, 2029, give it to him, please. I want to see the ability again. But I think by that time, we gonna be done. Be like, why we got Saruto now? I already did the hear me out. But anyway, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.